Today I have another exciting interview for Netflix's new show, Masters of the Universe Revelation. This roundtable discussion was with 3 incredible voice cast members from this new show, which hits Netflix on July 23rd. I was lucky enough to speak with Chris Wood, who voices Prince Adam / He-Man, Tiffany Smith, who voices Andra, and of course, the incredible Michelle Gellar, who voices Teela. We got into some amazing conversation about this incredible show, which I hope you all really do enjoy. Don't worry, I have a review coming up soon, embargo breaks, and I'm going to tell you guys all my thoughts, but I'll just let you know I've already watched it 5 times before recording this video, so I feel like that probably speaks for itself. I hope you enjoy this interview, and again, if this is your first time here, I'd love it if you take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the content or want more from Masters of the Universe, go ahead and hit that notification bell. I have an incredible 40-minute long interview with Kevin Smith, the legend, coming up soon, so you guys don't want to miss that. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
It's the story of a lovely... No.
First up.
Sorry, Chris and Tiffany, you guys don't know that, but it was a show. When...
I feel like anybody who watches Mythic Quest, I feel like where's the toilet paper roll like down all of us.
We should have been better prepared.
Seriously. Just kidding.
First of all, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Amazing. I love the show. I've watched it 3 times in its entirety. It is so much fun. Now, in Revelations, Teela is at the forefront of the story, but it's not at the expense of any of the other characters. The show really does a great job of elevating characters that have been around for the last 40 years. I know, Tiffany, your character is a legacy character, but what was it about each one of your characters in Revelations that you guys resonated with?
I think for me, it was the journey. Growing up, I mean, obviously I was of the age of He-Man, but it was not something that I really could relate to and didn't feel like I was a part of that world. It was very sort of laser focused on young boys. And I think what Kevin and what everyone's done so magically with the story is brought it to everybody. It doesn't matter age, race, any of it. There's a little bit of humanity and something that you can relate to in each of the characters.
I was a fan of the toys as a kid. I played a lot with He-Man toys, so I've been practicing I Have the Power my whole life. But I think that's the most exciting part about the show, is that it really is it's not a sequel, it's not a reboot, it's a continuation of the original series, but realized in 2021. And a show that was just for a little boy in what we think a little boy should like. It doesn't even fit in our world now. And I think they sort of perfectly expressed that and fleshed out characters that, we didn't really get to know before. And by the way, we never even saw He-Man and Skeletor fight in the original show. And now when they fight,
craziest thing.
It's epic. It's huge. And the fact that we go through the journey we go through, and you've seen it, so I don't have to explain what I mean by that. But the stakes are higher, and there's more energy behind the actual confrontations, and you're not seeing it every episode facing off. So when it happens, it means more. And watching the show, we've all been talking about it all day, obviously, but we all got to enjoy it as spectators. And that speaks to how amazing the animators and the writers and producers did with the show. Because we love it too, and we're able to step out of it, even though we're involved, and just enjoy it as fans. So.
I also watched the show 3 times through already. I grew up watching the animated series, and I brought, these are my action figures from when I was really little. I definitely have, I think it's my 1st grade class photo. I'm holding Mermista in my photo. So there definitely was a lot of, I'm very cool. A lot of excitement about this project, and through the world of hosting and stuff that I've been doing for a while, I know Kevin Smith. And so when this project came up and I was like, Kevin is doing it, oh my God. I wanted to make sure that when I auditioned for it, I gave it my all. And the end of my audition, because when you audition for voiceover, sometimes you don't know what character you're auditioning for, especially with Andra. She wasn't a character that, had any story. You see her once, I think, in one of the comic books. So I got to say that I have the power line. And so the only thing I could use, because I wanted to get my body into it, was I pulled my lightsaber off the wall and held up my lightsaber. And at the end of the take, I turned it on. So it was at the end of my take. And I was like, either they're gonna think this girl's awesome, or they're gonna be like, wow, she's really dorky.
But I have a question. Was your lightsaber red or blue?
It was red. It's red. It's
Get
red.
out
I
of
have a red and a
here.
green. I
Just
made it at Disneyland, okay?
Just
I'm
asking.
sorry.
No judgment.
So yeah, there was definitely a lot of like geek excitement about getting to be a part of this project. And, you know, like everyone has said, reading the script, the writers involved, there's so much depth. And the end of the original series, at each episode, you get the like, this is the thing you should learn for today. And I think that you get that, but in a much more adult way throughout the series, where it really is like about family and about that we all have the power. And like Chris said, it's really Masters of the Universe for 2021.
First off, thanks to the three of you for having us. And again, it's from what I've seen so far, it's looking fantastic. And I want to follow up on the previous question. And to all three of you, for your respective characters, what do you want the viewer to take away? Like an intrinsic truth or a solid something about each of your characters you want the viewers to leave with?
I think for Tiffany and I, it's a similar hope that they realize that everybody has the power, and it's about finding your voice and your family and being true to that.
I'll just jumping off of what Sarah said. I think it's, you know, it's that we all have the power. And for me, I used to watch animated cartoons growing up, and I'd always say, that's me, but I didn't really look like the characters. So this show in particular, getting to open up the world even more and have more diversity in Eternia, and know that there's going to be kids watching and even adults like me watching and be like, I look like that character. Just being able to relate to it that much more. I think that that's something that's so cool about this world. And I hope that people take that away from it, take away from watching the show.
Yeah. And I think with Adam and He-Man in the show, and I don't know how much you've seen of the show, Ray, but I think there's an interesting exploration that Revelation gets to do with the character of Adam / He-Man, in the weight of that deception and his secret and who he's told and who he hasn't told, and him actually having to face the consequences that come with having such a massive part of your life not revealed to people who are supposedly closest to you, and what the fallout is that comes with that. And I think it's a pretty relatable thing in a highly unrelatable circumstance. I mean, he's He-Man, you know, but the show explores it in a really unique way, and in part 2 as well. But yeah, the first part of the show, I think for He-Man specifically, that's the thing I was most excited by.
Hi, thanks for having us today. He-Man, a big part of the He-Man lore is the action figures and toys. And if
what do you mean? I haven't seen those.
Supposedly it's like $1 billion industry for the show. It's
so weird. I wonder what they look like. I haven't.
Wah, wah, wah. I have no
Okay,
choice.
Sarah doesn't have any. She's jealous.
but
Sorry,
if
Kevin,
if an action figure was made of you personally, what accessories would come in those action figure packs?
They just made
Sarah's
mine.
got hers already.
They just made mine.
Oh, not the He-Man one, the Chris Wood one.
No, that's the Chris Wood one.
Oh, I see it.
Did you not see the?
It would
I'm wearing
also
the
have
loincloth
his,
right now.
Kevin, it would also have his sparkling wit.
If only. If only. Sarah, take it away. What would your accoutrement be?
Well, according to my husband, it would be the ability to explain every joke and ruin it. My character, according to my husband, would be the explainer, the over-explainer.
What would her attachable gadget be?
Oh, that's a good question. What would my gadget be?
Hmm.
You know, like the
I mean-
thing that's supposed to fit firmly in the hand but never does.
No, yes, I understand. I mean, probably my phone these days.
That's probably, honestly, it's probably everyone's gadget.
Everyone's right. I mean,
Our dude cell phone.
my credit card. I'm at like a key light. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what it is. It would be a book, because I don't go anywhere without a book.
Wow.
I always have, whether it's my phone, whether it's a hardcover, my Kindle. I literally, even if I know I'm not going to be waiting somewhere, like I have to have a book. So that'd be mine.
So the explorer with the book who explains the jokes. Sounds like a fun toy.
Yeah, Michelle, are you listening? You could have the rights to it right now.
Tiffany, what's yours?
I think, well, when I was younger, I had really buck teeth and they were really like terrible gap in the front because I sucked my thumb for way too long. So I feel like there'd be like a button on the back that you could push it and you would have like a huge smile. That would be like the thing. And like somehow in the animated series, it's like, it would like blind people or like, I don't know, like I use it for so much stuff, for joy or for sometimes if I feel uncomfortable, I'll smile. So I think that would be my action figure with like that little button on the back and just press it and be like,
200 teeth Tiff.
I like it.
Coming to Netflix next summer.
This is the spin-off. Her backstory has headgear. That's just what I'm gonna say. The action figure also comes with the headgear before and after because I did wear headgear. Very cool.
I'll buy this figure. I like it.
Okay, going after action figures, especially for those of you that have kids, how excited are you to share the series and the action figures with the future generation, especially your family?
Well, I just got to experience it. So Chris and Tiffany are tired of the story, but so we got it last night. We watched the first episode and they were so into it. And then it was like shower time. It's a school night. And they went upstairs and they both came back down. And I was like, yeah, what? It's like, we want to keep watching. And I was like, really? And they watched until it was bedtime. And then my younger son had to go to bed. So we stopped. And then this morning before school, up early, dressed, teeth brushed, sunblock on. I was like, what's going on? They're like, we want to keep watching. And I don't have a lot of the stuff that I do is not stuff that they can enjoy. And so to be able to have something to share with them that they were so genuinely into and genuinely experiencing for the first time because they don't know He-Man, right? They sort of like, they know he was like a cool superhero, but it's not of their generation. And so realizing that my son went to school today and probably told all his friends, like, wait till you see He-Man and you have to watch. And it was really exciting.
And Tiffany's dog loves it. I have an almost 10-month-old boy at home, and he's obviously not old enough for He-Man yet, but I did have my wife and I watched all 5 of the episodes last night, and I had this sort of like pinch moment where I was
revelation.
Like, I had a revelation. Thank you, Sarah. This is why she's here,
beautiful.
Not because she's Teela. But I had this sort of like this swell of excitement in my chest thinking about getting to share this show with him because I remember watching the show and I remember playing with the toys, and if it has the effect that I think we're all kind of hoping and imagining it could, and that people will really love it, it's like coming back in 30 whatever years later for a new generation and packaged in a way that fits the time now. And I just felt so proud to not just be He-Man, but to be a part of it, and really excited to show him the show. But also, like, I mean, he's gonna have the best toys. Like, he's gonna have like a bucket of entirely Masters of the Universe characters. I mean, heaven.
Absolutely.
But seriously, Tiffany's dog, she needs to tell you.
I do not have children, so I don't have the experience of being like, oh, I can show this to my kids. I feel like I'm still the kid who watched it. I'm like, oh my God, I get to be on this show. When they told me there was going to be an Andra action figure, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm the girl who has a shelf of Funkos and action figures. This is like a so LA thing for me, but I would like to have figures where it's like, there's aspects of each character, which I'm like, I'm manifesting that, or I'm believing for that for myself, or I'm looking for that. And now I'm like, I don't get to put Andra up there. So there's that aspect that is really, really cool. And I geek out every time I think about it. But I think, like I said, the big thing is that I think everybody can watch the show and find something for themselves. And we haven't talked about it a ton yet, but like the freaking music on this show, like you watch the trailer and it's like Bear McCreary's music. It blows me away every single time. And I think that's something like there's a few film soundtracks that I listen to And I'm like, can I get the soundtrack for our show and just like play it sometimes? Because it makes me feel like fired up and like ready to go.
Tessa and Jenna, we're so sorry. We took too much time.
That's all
Oh, no,
right.
we
slow
know each other.
talkers.
That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
All right.
love
I
you.
feel you with the action figures, Tiffany.
Nice. I love it.
Thanks, guys. Show's awesome. So good.
It's great.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so
We love
good.
it.
Okay, guys, weren't Chris, Tiffany, and Sarah amazing? I absolutely loved listening to them talk about this show, and it was so fun watching them play off each other and joke around with each other as well. Why don't you let me know your favorite part of the interview down below in the comments? Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like I said, you do not want to miss out on that 40-minute interview with Kevin Smith. He's amazing. He does talk all the spoilers, and I mean, I just don't think he could help it. He's so clearly passionate about this show. So that interview is going to drop on July 23rd, the same day that Masters of the Universe Revelation drops on Netflix. You guys don't want to miss that one. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.